Good morning, my Fly&Fit family, and welcome to the interview for September's edition of the Fly&Fit magazine. This month, goddesses, we're talking about football and derby. And I'm here today with Miranda, known as the Shocker, from the Thunder City Derby Sirens. And we're going to talk a little bit about how derby has empowered her, as well as how it can empower others. So goddesses, thank you for joining us. And as always, fly. First, love yourself. And I think you'll find this interview very intriguing and most of all, empowering. And this is Jahari. We'll see you on the other side. Miranda, how are you today?
I'm okay.
We made it after all to have a sit down and to talk a little bit about you and what you do. So let's just get started with it. We met online actually through Miranda's sister, and I was so intrigued about women's derby because I hadn't heard of it in such a long time. And I was like, you know what type of woman does derby? It has to be a special type. And I met Miranda. So Miranda, tell me a little bit about, let's talk about you as a person first.
Well, I am a mother of three. I have a full-time career. I work with Bungalow Studios. I'm an account executive and assistant creative director for the theme parks. And I guess talking about me, as I grew up, I definitely struggled with feeling a little off, and I never really quite fit in. I couldn't figure out, normal social cues. I carried that growing up, and as an adult, I still kind of struggle with these things. And I would say if I were to kind of define myself, I think that I'm a bit of a walking contradiction, I guess is the way I kind of see it. I'm really strong, but I'm vulnerable. I'm deeply emotional, but I can turn it off in a minute. But all in all, I would say that I am a very good person to my core, and I'm a faithful person. So, that's a little bit about me.
And that's good, and that's great because, all of us struggle to find ourselves in one way or another. Yeah,
I don't think that you can. I feel like at a certain age, the fog would lift, and I would just be like, this is what defines Miranda. And I just don't think that's true. I think each experience in your life changes you, and it's always an evolving definition. And I'm just on for the ride.
And I think that's where a lot of us find ourselves. Yes. And that's one reason why I created the magazine, is to give women a different outlet or a different platform to be who they are. The main title of my business is Fly. First, love yourself. And to me, that is the most important job that we have.
Absolutely.
But I see that sometimes it takes us a long time, maybe even to our 30s, sometimes our 40s, even older, to really define who we are or to find out who we are. And that I started this dream of doing this magazine in 2014. And last year, 2015, it was done. So I was like, okay, we've done it. Let's find them to talk about who they are and how they found their place in this world today with all of the commercial fit into this mold.
Absolutely.
And that's one question too I wanted to see is when you say that you don't quite fit, how do you view the way that beauty is described today?
Well, the way it's always been described, when I was growing up, I did, I had this overwhelming feeling to do things that didn't fit in the mold of what a young girl should be.
Exactly.
You know, I wanted to shave my head. I wanted to make my own clothes that just were weird. And I didn't understand, you know, how to belong to cliques or, you know, how to communicate with people. So, you know, so as I was growing up feeling that way, it took me a long time to realize that that was just me, and that, you know, the women I perceived and I would compare myself to all the time had just as many things about them that were unique that I never realized, you know, and that they struggled with that. I believe that they struggle with those same issues, and that's what, and that idea of what we're supposed to be divides us.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
So, I mean, as I've gotten older, I've gotten more comfortable in my skin, and I think that's where it is, you know, and you start to those feelings and those thoughts of what you're supposed to be, and it still is a struggle, but I think that finding something like Derby, which I'm involved in, has really helped me tap into that and realize how to break that mold.
But you know, the thing of it is, you said a key word, is growing up, we see different things, and we kind of feel like we have to do that, but sometimes our family feel like we got to do this. And same with me, I grew up as a tomboy, and I just love to do the things that my brothers, well, you know, girls are supposed to do, or good girls don't do this or that. And that kind of drove me crazy for a long time. But, you know, like you say, over the years, I worked on it, and I became who I am today. So without those experiences as well, we won't really develop. So sometimes experiences is good. So,
huge hit by Cinnamon Roll. You will often support taking home for her.
So Miranda, tell me a little bit about how you chose the name The Shocker.
Well, when you decide that Derby is your game, the first thing you start thinking about is your name, because I think that it helps you separate yourself from your daily life, and you get to take a sliver of yourself and be that, just kind of roll around in that. And so, you know, I went through several names, but you hit a name and you go, that's it, that's the name. And I felt like the Shocker was perfect. It was everything that I saw myself as a Derby player. So.
When I seen the picture with your mask or makeup on, I thought, wow, that's a cool way to really let off steam.
Absolutely.
Or really get into a different persona altogether.
Yes.
And it's kind of like that with burlesque. You know, when you do burlesque, you think of this burlesque name, and you're able to just let go.
Yes, absolutely.
You can just let the world close them out for a while. So tell me a little bit about the Shocker when you put on that mask. What happened?
So the makeup design, it really helps me embrace, you know, there's certain things about me that I consider myself, one of the things I do consider myself is a very strong person. And in my career especially as a strong woman, and I'm sure many other strong-willed women in their careers can relate to this, you find that there is double standards. Like, if you're firm, if you're straightforward, you're considered, you know, it's you need to soften it up, you need to dumb it down, you know, that's too much. And I like to kind of tell it how it is. Of course, I'm not disrespectful, but I don't do well with kind of beating around the bush and stuff like that. So, you know, whenever I put on that makeup, the thing I love about it the most is I'm able to be that woman And I can put on that mask, and I embrace the survivor in me, the warrior in me, the strong-willed woman, the I'm only going to tell you once kind of person, you know? And, you know, all the other things about Miranda are gone for that moment. So, and people know me as the shocker, you know, in that makeup, not Miranda. So.
And I think that's so cool to do. I mean, I'm not that woman that can play derby, but I do admire you for being able to do that, because that shows that we can be feminine and that tough badass at the same time without being over aggressive. Mm-hmm. We all have different sides to us. Yeah. And that's one side, like you say, society don't feel like we should ever show. Mm-hmm. But that side exists. Absolutely. And to me, that side is just as important as our feminine side.
Absolutely.
So tell me now a little bit about how Derby has empowered you and how you feel it can empower other women as well.
I think when I got involved in Derby, I was finally able to embrace that side of me that is extremely strong-willed, bullheaded, all those things that a woman's not supposed to be.
Correct.
You know, I found something that made me feel strong and powerful, and there's strategy. And honestly, I'm not like a sports person at all. I have a little competitive, you know, streak in me, but you know, everything about it really played on women's strengths, and so for me, it's been a game changer as far as even how I interact with people, and you know, and how I interact with women, and the level of trust that I have, you know, with them especially. They got my back, you know, and I got theirs. So that to me is extremely empowering. As far as other women, you know, a lot of people think Derby isn't for them. And I was the same. When I first heard about it, I thought it was like the Wild West of sports. Girls were just, you know, hitting each other. And it's not like that at all. A lot of women come to our practices with no experience skating. I have some prior experience when I was like 12. But they haven't put skates on since they were 6, you know, they don't even know how to play or how to skate. We have a program that teaches them how to skate, and I think that, you know, it gives women, it helps them understand that they can be strong too. They can have these qualities. It's okay, and this is a place. This is a place for you. This is a place where you can be strong, you can be bullheaded, you can be firm, and I think that every time I go and every time they go, you're reminded of that, and it reminds you that it's okay to be like this. And when you go out in the world and you say something straight, it's okay. Don't let anybody tell you that it's not. So.
And I like that. I mean, I think that's an area in life where we as women have to find that it's okay to be strong. And some people are just that way, and it's okay. And that's what I wanted this segment to be about, is that ladies, it's okay to be who you are, even if it's not the little dainty, so to speak, all the time. It's okay.
Even, I mean, there's in Derby, the great thing about Derby is there is a place for everyone. There are women that they look like they can just get, you know, wind blows and they'll fall over. But those are our jammers. Those are the women who score the points. Those are the women who outmaneuver people. Thunder City Derby Sirens through our website. It's derbysirens.com. And we would love to hear from you. You can like us on Facebook. And like I said, there is, to start out, to give it a shot, there's no commitment. You know, a lot of times we have recruitment nights, and those are great nights to come because it is a practice devoted to recruitment. And so when we have our recruitment nights, all of these people that are interested come, and we all skate together, and we have gear that was donated, so that when people come and they don't have these skates, if they want to try it out, they don't have, you know, helmets, elbow pads, knee pads, so that way you don't have to buy a bunch of gear to come give it a shot. And just skate around, feel it out, understand what we do and what the game is, because it's not what you think it is half the time. And you know, and yes, there is hitting. It is a full contact sport, but we teach you how to do it safely.
And I'm going to go to a practice, but I don't think I'll be joining her. Miranda has been wonderful, and I thank her for joining me this morning. And goddesses, as always, I'm flight instructor Jahari, and fly. First, love yourself. And we'll see you next month. It will be October Bike Fest. And we'll be at Daytona riding bikes. See you later. Love ya.